Hey friends, it's Kenny here from Midwest Fragrance Company. And today we are talking about my top 4 habits that will help you in your daily and weekly routines to manage, balance, and thrive while running your business. Stick around to the very end of this video to hear all of my actionable steps and to get access to a special freebie that I created for you. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit the notification bell. I believe if you can implement these habits into your daily and weekly routines, that you will be less stressed, more planned, and experience less burnout over time, leading to more success as a business owner and as an individual. Because you're more than the business that you run, and you deserve to have a life and time to do the things that you enjoy most. If you are looking to up your business owner game and take your business as well as yourself to a whole new level, stick around and listen to all 4 of the strategies included in this list. Let's dive in and break them down into actionable steps. So the first habit that we are going to be going over is possibly the most important, and that is self-care. I wish that I would have learned this so much sooner than I did, because this is where I got it all wrong. I used to never, and if I'm being truly honest with you, which is what I like to pride myself on, then I have to tell you that I honestly still struggle with this habit. But what I have come to understand is that when I take time for myself, I always show up better in my business. When I take time to recharge and reset, I am so much more productive in my working days. So I want to share with you a few ways that I use self-care to be my best business owner self, with the hope that it inspires you to find your own, or maybe some similar, ways that you can take some time for you, so that you can show up better, be less stressed, and be more productive. My favorite form of self-care is reading books and listening to podcasts or audiobooks. Personally, I really enjoy being able to continue to learn, diving deep into topics around mindset growth, productivity, positivity, habits, pretty much anything to do with personal growth. I find that this has actually helped me in my business as an added bonus, because I'm able to apply the things that I have learned to better myself to being a better leader and a better business person in general. Now, your topic can be completely different than mine. Maybe you listen to comedy podcasts, or you read true crime books. Or heck, maybe you even enjoy massages or bubble baths. Whatever the form of self-care, it should be something that you enjoy. Maybe you even tune into an episode of our YouTube channel here as a special treat to take some time for yourself. Don't forget to subscribe. But I'm curious, do you do this already? What do you listen to? What do you read? What do you do? Leave your comments or suggestions below. I'm always searching for my next book or podcast. Another self-care habit that I do is journaling. I've recently started journaling 3 to 5 times per week. Typically, I journal a prompt in the morning, like for example, what are my wildest dreams? Or what would make today great? Or what intention do I want to set for today? I find these prompts to ground me and make me look towards the future and what I truly want, or reflect on the past depending on how I'm feeling. In the evenings, I like to journal about my day. What went well? What could have I improved on going forward? Through journaling, I'm able to reflect on my days and notice patterns in my behavior to be aware of or to work on improving. The last self-care tip that I have for you is about rest. This might be the most important of the ones I've discussed, and it has made the biggest impact on me as a whole. And it's yet another thing I got oh so wrong in the beginning. If you are feeling like there is just too much on your plate and you are super stressed, maybe even easily overwhelmed, you might want to look at how much sleep that you're getting. I can tell you from personal experience that after a good night's sleep, I can take on the day ahead of me feeling so much more less stressed and less overwhelmed. Tasks and topics that felt really heavy and difficult the day before when I was super tired suddenly take on a whole new light and perspective. I have now established a routine where I go to bed early and I wake up early, versus my previous schedule of going to bed super late and still waking up super early. At that time, I was probably getting around 4 to 5 hours of sleep a night. It's not great. And doing that day in and day out really started to take a toll, leading to feelings of burnout. All this to say, if done right, did you know that you can actually get more accomplished by resting? Getting at least 8 hours of sleep every single night and establishing a regular sleep pattern can help you to be more productive. But let's talk about this for a moment, because there are a couple of secret ingredients to using rest to get more done. Are you ready? Come back to me if you've drifted off a bit. This is important. If you're exhausted and feeling burned out, not only is overwhelm and stress much more likely to happen, but you are also likely working way below 100%. Depending on where you are at, maybe you are only working at 50%. Is that really productive? The answer is definitely not. Get some rest, maybe a nap, it's okay, but come back when you're ready to work at 100%. Now, I have one more very important thing to add to this, and that self-care via rest or whatever this looks like for you is necessary. But if you spend all of that time thinking about how many things that you should be doing right now, but you aren't because you're resting, it's not rest. It's a double loss. Get your rest and allow yourself, give yourself permission to fully rest so that you can be more productive the next day. Running our business is part of us. It's what we love to do. It's what we devote so much time to, and that's great. But sometimes we need to take time for ourselves, time to rest, time to recharge. And that is just as important, if not more, than our actual work some days. Show up for yourself so that you can show up in all the other places that you have to in life. I guess I'm pretty passionate about that. The next habit that I want to share with you is all about goals and prioritizing them. How many of you constantly feel like you have 2,883 things to do on your to-do list every single day and you never have enough time to get it all done? That was me. No matter how long I worked, I just couldn't get everything done. And if you're anything like me, then you decide to beat yourself up about it a little bit because just why couldn't you get everything done? So you push yourself longer, you work harder, you stay up later to try to get it all to happen. Remember all that sleep stuff that I was talking about? Yeah. This was that hard at work, trying to keep me from my sleep and my goals, and throwing me into a meaningless, endless cycle that leads to burnout. But don't worry, I have an answer for you. This is likely happening because you are doing the wrong tasks. Yep, I just called you out. But what do you mean the wrong tasks? You are not prioritizing your to-do list by what is most important. There is so much on your list that you feel overwhelmed and end up not even knowing where to start. You are doing small, trivial things that are not pushing the needle to where you need to go. You might even get so overwhelmed that you don't start at all. If this is you, listen up. I've got a solution for you. Here's what you're gonna do. I recommend that you choose your top 3 to 5 priority tasks each day. These will be your non-negotiables. Things that must get done in order for you to achieve tomorrow's top goals. You must be realistic about how much you can truly get done and stop overscheduling yourself. That is where I went wrong. And it's a recipe for disaster. When you focus on the right things, you will feel less overwhelmed and get more done. To go even farther into this, I personally recommend that you create 2 to-do lists. Yep, 2. One of them will be titled Top Priority, and the other one will be When I Have Time. This is you mentally accepting and allowing yourself to do the things on the second list when you have time, and it's huge mentally. But as long as you get your top priority list done, then you are golden. The third habit that I want to share with you is learning to be able to manage your time and your schedule. There are a couple of time management strategies that I have found to be helpful here, so I want to break them down for us. The first tool that I use in making a habit of managing my time more efficiently is creating themed days for your tasks. In case you're wondering and you're not familiar with this, let me explain. I call it theme days, meaning that you choose a theme for each day of the working week for one specific type of task. For example, on Mondays, I spend as much of my day as possible working on marketing as my theme, planning events, scheduling email campaigns, creating email campaigns, planning social media content, scheduling all of this out in advance. This helps me to avoid context switching, which is switching back and forth between tasks that require totally different parts of your brain to accomplish. It takes time to switch from one task to the next when they are completely different in nature, and then to fully focus and devote your attention to those tasks. It makes you less efficient and probably a little bit overwhelmed. So I create a theme day for each day of my working week, and I try my very best to batch out tasks related to that theme on that day. So my Marketing Monday, I don't just write one email. Nope, I try to plan out a whole month of emails so that I'm always ahead. So here's a little example of how I lay my week out. So Mondays are for marketing. On Tuesdays, I'm camera ready, recording a video or taking photos. On Wednesdays, I'm doing administrative tasks. Boring. Thursdays are my meeting days with external and internal team members, and Fridays are my planning days. If someone wants to meet with me on a Wednesday, I try really hard to request that meeting happen on a Thursday. If it's not possible, I can always be flexible, but I really try to keep my schedule this way whenever possible. And while we're on this topic, another tip that I have for managing your time and your schedule is that you should plan everything in your calendar. I use Google Calendar and use time blocking and color coding to visually see the tasks that can be batched on whatever day of the week that I've selected for it. And it's an extremely simple thing that will help you tremendously. And you will notice so many improvements with how you feel about your schedule. And lastly, while you should plan everything and consider your calendar your best friend, you should always leave room for spontaneity. Every day and every week is different than the rest, and personal time should always feature prominently in the mix. In fact, schedule that into your calendar too. And the last habit that I recommend is don't go at it alone. I certainly don't, and I don't think I could. We have a very special, near and dear to my heart community group on Facebook called the Midwest Fragrance Company Community Group, which is full of amazing and talented makers just like you and I. And it is an extremely positive space where people are always inspiring each other, supporting each other, and lifting each other up. And the best part is that it's free. If you have Facebook and haven't joined the community yet, I strongly encourage you to do so. I will link it in the description of this video if you're interested in checking it out. You will immediately be a part of our family. That's what we call it over there, our Midwest Fragrance Company family. You'll belong to a community of people just like you. You can learn a lot from other makers, ask questions, and everyone is always so happy to help. When you work with others in your community, there's also a less chance that you'll get discouraged and stop your craft. It's difficult to stop when there are so many people willing to help and rooting for you. We all hold each other accountable. All of us have similar goals and dreams and energies, and it's lovely to be surrounded by so many like-minded people with no negative vibes. We have a strong belief in community over competition, which I absolutely adore. Well, my friends, I hope these habits and actionable steps have helped you to get some ideas and ways to better yourself or your business. And to take it just a step further, head down to the link in the description of this video to download a free workbook that I've created to outline the next steps that you should implement for these strategies and habits. I know that you will see such a big change in your life. And don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more maker tips, tricks, business advice, mindset strategies, and more. Hit the notification bell so that you'll be notified every single time we post new videos. Bye for now. Hello. Really? I just made a fart noise with my mouth. Google Calendars, and I use time blocking and color coding calendars, and use time blocking and color coding.